This is a true story, believe it or not. Uh, my mother in law, I just met her like the day before, and she had asked me to help her study. Well, actually, it might have been 2 days because she did a smoking um, acupuncture smoke to help you stop smoking. And it's supposed to be a 7 day treatment. And I did the first day, and I'm like, okay, no more. I'd rather smoke cigarettes. I'm not doing that treatment. I don't like needles. I was not doing that again. Ugh. But anywho, she says, "Well, help me study. I'm going for my license for acupuncture, but I have to study for the test, and I need a body." And I'm like, "Well, what are you going to do to my body? No needles." She's like, "No, I'm going to use magic markers." And it was 500 in black, 500 in red, and 500 in green. I didn't find out till later that she used magic or permanent. Ah, dang! Ah, it took weeks to get my dots off. Ah. Anywho, I'm laying on a gurney. I'm naked. And there's like Oriental music going because, anywho, she was saying all her stuff, saying it out loud. And I was just listening to it. It's kind of interesting. I'm a big dummy here and the guinea pig. Ugh. Anywho, she gets to one spot. I'm not going to say where it is because then everybody's going to start poking themselves. And it's very dangerous. You can't do this stuff unless you know what you're doing. Okay, anywho, on with the story. She lowers her voice when she gets to one spot. She says, sexual stimulation. And I said, sexual stimulation? You mean, and then I got that far in the sentence and she had a needle on her schmuck and she poked me. And I started having the big O. And she started laughing. And she's like, well, I'll give you a minute. She walked out the room. So I'm like trying to like stop that, and I can't stop that. And I'm naked, and I can't stop that. Oh, damn it. So she comes back in the room, and she's still laughing. And I'm not laughing. I'm just like, ah. So she's like, well, I guess you need more time. And I'm like, well, I'm going to need a cigarette after this. So then she's mad because she doesn't want me to stop, because she's only got like 30 more minutes. She's like, well, just give me 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes. I'm sorry. I just had to do that to you. I'm like, no, you didn't have it. So so she comes in. I'm like, okay, well, come on in. It's tapering off now. Dang. Ah, it's wrong. It's wrong. That's a true story. Okay, I'll make this a continuing two-parter because I got another one with this woman. Maybe that's why she did it to me because I'm like, well, how do I get your husband to like me? Because he wasn't even acknowledging. I'd come into the room, I'd say good morning, sir, and oh hell to the no, he wouldn't even look at me, nothing. So she's like, well, you gotta cook something for him, and he's gotta like it. I'm not a good cook. Oh, that's not my forte at all. Oh. So I'm thinking, good God Almighty, what am I gonna cook this man? And there's this thing called fried grits. It's like you make your grits normal, however you want. But then you put them in a brownie pan, thin. I put them in thin, but then put like a napkin and then a sheet of cellophane or cover them up, and then put them in the refrigerator overnight. And then the next morning, cut them up like brownies, throw them in some grease, and then they get crunchy on the outside, still gritty on the inside. It's like fried grits. That's a southern thing. So I'm making it for her. And the first night, I didn't want her to know the secret recipe because it's in the where I'm from. You don't tell people your recipe. Serious, my grandmother, she didn't to oh my god, that lady did not write nothing down on her deathbed. She was like yelling out all these recipes. Oh, it was okay. Anywho, so I'm hiding all this stuff, and she's asking me, "Well, what is a grit?" And I'm like, "Well, it's hominy." And she's like, "Well, what's a hominy?" I don't know what a hominy is. It has something to do with a corn. I don't know. And she's never heard of a grit. So, I'm like, well, don't you have a dictionary? Aren't you a doctor? Don't you know what a hominy is? Hominy, hominy, hominy. So finally, I have to give up the recipe because this man, he eats one and he loves it. And he's like, you make these every day you here. I'm like, oh, because it takes like a long time to make. She's like, well, if you give me the recipe, I'll help them. I'll help make them. So I had to give up the recipe.